Hey everybody, welcome back to another Kevin's Creations here on Geektopia Island. I'm Kevin, and today we're going over a local player's deck that's in our local area, and it's a pretty fun little old school Loki deck from the Order Rulers, and it's pretty good, and it does a lot of new tricks with some of the new cards, and the tails that came out really make it stand out. But for those that don't know, the Loki, she is the Order Ruler. You can only have tails, or you cannot have tails. You can only play villains. And she's all about the giants. And then her backside is Force Command Trickery. You pay 0, destroy target ordered card, place ability only once per turn. And that's the major part of her ability of what she does. And you want to kill your own dude specifically, which is kind of the crazy part, but you'll see why here in a second. And so, without further ado, guys, we're going to jump into it. So, starting up, we got Prototype Magi Trooper, which I'm going to tell you right now, this card's probably going to be in a lot of decks that we go from here on out, because it's just pay 0, draw a card, which is really, really good. And it puts a body in play. It's super good. It's going to be used in a lot of decks. And in this deck, it's super funny because you can order it for 0 on turn 1 and get a stone without losing any value. And be able to kill him to play a Schmel, which we'll go over next. Which he is the big main card of the deck, really. Schmel, the Giant of Distrust. He's a 13/13 for 4. You may pay 3 less to play this if a J rule you controlled was destroyed. And then when this card is destroyed, J Resonators gain -10/-10. And Revolution, your opponent discards 2 cards. So turn 1, you order your 0 cost dude. And then your next turn, when you want to get this dude in play, you're like, cool, Schmel. And whenever I kill my prototype, and just be like, cool, big dude. And if you get the ability to order him after you kill your other dude, then you get to free discard 2 cards. Super strong. There's Volmol, the Snake of Knowledge. He's there to fill your hand back up because he draws 3 cards when he's revolutioned, and he makes things lose abilities. That's what he's for. He's pretty strong. We got Fenrir, the Goodest of Boys. He's 2 blue for 6/8 quick cast. J Resonators, your opponent control get -10 until the end of turn. When this card is destroyed, draw a card. And then Revolution, he gets +4/+4 and enter destroy target J your opponent controls if its attack is 0 or less. So you -10 their board, you kill a dude if you get a chance, and then you get free value off of Fenrir. The other major dude of the deck is Garmheld. He is 2 blue and 1 for an 8/8. Remove this card from your graveyard from the game. Produce a blue, spin this only to play cards named Garmheld. Revolution, as he enters the field, he reveals Tails from outside the game, and he becomes that Tails. So he comes into play as a copy of that Tails. So he gets any of their inner triggers, any of their fun things they can do. And if they have a Revolution, he gets that Revolution as well because he is still Revolutioned. And it's kind of crazy on how good he can be because he's kind of your like end game card. He's not like super end game, but if he hits, he does a lot. The other 2 cards in the deck that are super powerful. Loki enters the Game of Gods. It's 1 blue, quick cast. Target J Resonator gets -2 until the end of turn. -2000, draw a card. Produce 1 will of any attribute, draw a card. And then Resonators in your hand gain quick cast until the end of turn. That's the key part of this, so you can be like, cool. In response to whatever you're doing, all my dudes gain quick cast. Kill my dude, play Schmel, and then be able to have a big dude in play. And it gets kind of ridiculous when you're like, hey, give all my big giants quick cast. And then the other card that I argued for and he finally put in the deck, and this card has destroyed my life more than I care to admit, is Loki's Deception. 3 blue, quick cast, choose 1. Gain control of target enter ability, change the target to target spell with a single ability. And then Force Trickery, you may remove 2 water cards from your hand from the game rather than pay this card's cost. This card can be played free, and it says, give me your enter trigger. Right now, in the game, there's so many good enter triggers that this just obliterates. And it doesn't matter what the enter trigger is. As long as it's an enter trigger, you get to take it. So if you're playing against an Asuka and they contract, you're like, cool, give me your enter trigger. I get all my dudes back. Thanks. And it's so game-changing when this hits, because you have to play around this card knowing, playing against the Loki, if they have this in their hand and you know it, you have to play around it, and it's really hard. Because when I play Asuka, I have to play around that, and I don't like it, because I'm just like, no, it's not fun. The other major decks, or major cards of the deck for Resonators is Hegel. He's a good giant. We got Trou. He's a pretty good giant because he goes and gets a 1-drop. And then we have Skidbladnir, the ship that goes and gets any giant you need. That's really what it's for. We have Roar of the Thunder Underground Giants, which gets giants or bounces things. Loki's Curse protects you. Loki's Strategy also gives you protection and helps you just get there. And Call of Darkness is a search card to get whatever you need. The stones are really simple. Attoractia's Memoria, Magic Stone of Dark Depths, and Magic Stone of the Moonshade, which gives you all the manas you need. The sideboard cards we have, there's only 2 tails that are like super strong that you need. One is a Borzuki, the Vampire Astrologer, 2/2, Flying Drainbane. Comes into play, you Odin enters the Game of Gods, and then she gets counters for each card in your graveyard and remove zone. And then if she's Revolution, which she will be from Garmheld, you can remove counters to neg the board. That's pretty much what it does, and she is super powerful for it. Or you can go get Lovecraft and just be like, hey, cool, take 18, and he's gonna die. Because that's what Lovecraft does. He just comes into play and is like, you're gonna die, take 18. Wow. But otherwise, the tails you get is all the like Zeus tails, and they all have all kinds of different abilities that you can use when you need to. But remember, you only get like 1 or 2 Garmheld uses a game, so you got to make sure you pick the right one. But overall, this deck is super fun. It's super fast for being a Loki deck, and it's just like, it's got enough control in it to make it kind of ridiculous. But it's super fun to play, super ridiculous and like hard to deal with. So go check it out. The deck list will be down below, guys, and hope you enjoyed it. We'll see y'all again next time. Goodbye. Make sure you subscribe to our channel, guys, and hit that like, and then also click that bell so you get all the updates and notifications on our channel. And then send us any comments down below so we make sure we get them.
And just to remind you that we are actually streaming on Twitch now, where we do all our deck brawls and also video game content. And also remind you that we do have a Patreon, and we like to go ahead and thank the mythic and above Patreons. So thank you, Ryan.
Thank you.
We love you.
Boom.